Okay, guys. Happy New Year. Golf in Japan 2025 Season 2. Welcome.
Woohoo.
And yokoso.
Yeah.
Yokoso.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year, boys. Happy New Year. Yo-yo, Toshio.
That's what you say at the end of the year. So you want to say akemashite.
Or you can akemashite omedetou gozaimasu.
Akime.
Akeome. Akeome. Happy New Year's to, let's go this way. Damon, Happy New Year and welcome.
Thank you. Happy New Year, everyone.
Ryan, good to see you survived your Okinawa trip.
Oof. Yeah.
Lengthy Christmas holidays.
No snakes. No snakes bit me, but I do have. I did bring that. Do you remember we talked about that funky snake venom alcohol?
Mm-hmm.
So I brought a nice photo for you. Like I'll have to share it on the screen later or something like that.
Oh.
But that's what it looks like in there. It's like it's like a mummified snake inside the alcohol.
That's not like a baby snake. That's like a proper snake.
Proper snake with proper venom. But nice. I got you guys the energy drink version of that. So if you want to crack those later, we can do that.
Is it alcoholic?
Yes.
It is. I'm doing dry January.
Wait. First of all, we have to do a greeting for Joe. Joe, welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be back in a few weeks.
Dry? So you're doing a dry January?
Yeah.
That's not
I kind of hurt myself coming up until New Year's. Christmas was a bit of not a disaster, but had too much to drink and decided to give it a rest. So I'm 7 days in so far. So far.
Good on you.
Yeah,
So
I did dry Monday.
I haven't drank today yet.
Kieran, I was going to ask you real quick about that 7-herb porridge. Like I was reading about that.
Oh, yeah.
Like you were saying that's like a Japanese tradition that I was unaware of. But the reason for that is after the holidays, you do too much drinking, you do too much festivities. And so that porridge is supposed to be really good for the gut, they said.
Yeah, it's just a kayu. So it's like rice mixed with water, and then they put 7 different herbs in it, and they put mochi in it. And then it's supposed to be auspicious to give you health for the year. So you're supposed to be healthy for the year. So we always do it on the 7th of January. And that was yesterday. It's the 8th today. By the way, guys, just as we're speaking, the TGL is kicking off with its first match as we're recording this.
Is that on you next?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
ESPN, I know, are the big player involved in it. I don't know. Is that probably in Japan? It's a shame they didn't put it on live on YouTube or something like Liv did.
Maybe eventually, but yeah, I was reading up about it a whole bunch. Like, if I was thinking, not to be greedy, but if Damon is the live guy, I want to be the TGL guy because I was watching this. It looks amazing. I think it looks so exciting. Like
it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's super cool, right?
What, Joe? You'd probably know this. What's the format?
I've got no idea. I haven't been following it.
That's a little bit disappointing, Joe.
Joe, this is your corner, mate.
Yeah, so 2025.
I think it's okay. So it's 4-man teams, 4-man. On the team, but only 3 get to play any given event. The 3 that go out, the first 9 holes are best ball. It's a 3-man scramble, but no, it's not scramble. It's a they each take a shot in a row. What do you call that?
Alternate
shot. So it's alternate shot for the first 9 holes, and then for the last, I think it's only 14 holes. For the last 5 holes, it's a 1v1 match play. So one guy from your team against another guy on the other team, and 3 4-hole matches going on, something like that.
Yeah, and playing right now, it's the New York Golf Club and the Bay Golf Club, right?
And who are in those teams, Ryan? Does it say?
Yeah, Xander. So in the New York Golf Club is Xander Schauffele, Matt Fitzpatrick, and Ricky Fowler.
Okay. Good.
And then the Bay Golf Club is Ludwig Arberg and Wyndham Clark and Shane Lowry.
Wow,
I like the way you're pronouncing Clark.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I
Xander Schauffele. Interesting. There's loads of rules, right? So there's a time clock. I think you only get like 40 seconds or something.
Yeah, which is what it should be.
Yeah.
I'm watching it now.
Oh wow, cool.
Got it on.
Okay.
Not focusing on the podcast, Damon.
Our priorities.
Yeah, that shot clock seems like it really changes things too, because it's like the pressure's on, and they just got to keep moving. Which it just looks like it's so easy to watch. Just from what I was watching, I just watched a few amateurs kind of testing it out. It's all custom courses, so it's like they're not like real courses, which is kind of there's sort of ups and downs to that, but it's like kind of spectacular, interesting courses that are custom built. So I mean, I just imagine the future and like where it could go. They could get crazy with it.
Yeah, I'd say Tiger's going to be really good at this because his big nemesis now is walking courses, and he's probably just staying at home. And I think he's probably
100%.
invented this. Is this something to do with his full swing?
This
golf
is
simulator?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so he's going to have the advantage, right? Because he invented this software or these golf courses are probably all his design.
But a shout out also to Roy, who's doing the Japan version.
That's right.
as
Yeah,
well, yeah.
we talked about
which is
that.
just well, it's a little bit different than the TGL, isn't it? It's just what Roy's doing.
Same
Screen
concept.
golf.
The same concept.
He
Yeah.
had who was the girl that you always call her the glamour girl of the JLPGA?
There was
Erica Hara
yeah, Hara
and
and Shibuno, I think. had a
Shibuno,
match
and he had them in
recently.
we didn't actually go and see that, but if Roy's listening, please invite us to the next one and we'll
Yeah,
check it out.
no, shout out to him because he actually did invite us out.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, but unfortunately the schedule didn't match, so we'll certainly
Yeah.
get out there for the next one.
Cool. Okay, well look, we'll dive into TGL when we've actually digested one of them. But before that, can we just say, it's start of the season 2, of golf in Japan. So are we having any New Year's resolutions? And I'll start. Mine is to put out the podcast as quick as possible. On audio anyway. That's my bit. So I'm going to try and get it out today. So you've heard it first. Any New Year's resolutions? Joe's off the drink.
Yeah,
Good luck with that,
that's-
mate. I'll give you about 10 minutes. What about you, Damon? Any New Year's resolutions?
Better golf, I suppose.
Better golf, yeah. Better wedge play from you would be good. Your drivers, you smoke with the drives. It's just a wedge game. Mine would be better driving. I'm always OB all the time, which is big miss right and left. What about you, Ryan?
250 yards onto the fairway.
Okay, so
That should be more of a long-term goal.
we should put a bit of context on that. So what happened was we had our Bonenkai, which is your year-end drinks, and we were having a few too many maybe, and then we said that if Ryan hits 250 yards on the golf course on a specific day, mind you, I think it's the last Friday of the month. If he gets 250 yards, we're giving him a raise. And then we're going to do a scramble matchup, me and Romano against Damon and Ryan. And if whoever wins gets 150,000 yen, not me or Damon, the other two guys. And whoever loses, that guy, either Romano or Ryan, has to jump in the freezing cold swimming pool.
Doesn't seem fair.
Yeah, I know.
What about this for an idea
Or a
that I
pond.
come out and commentate?
Yeah, you could.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can actually
Shot by shot analysis
You can
of what's
actually even
going
help
on.
the boys. We'd allow that. You can help
Yeah,
the
that's
boys.
right.
You can
Yeah.
guide them through.
Yeah.
So if they get 250 yards drive, they get a raise immediately. Was it 10% or something? 10% raise.
Is it any particular hole? I mean, there's
right.
got to be some holes with just straight downhill, downwind.
I'm sure we're breaking
That may
several
help.
Yeah. Help us to
laws.
identify those holes. I
Okay,
like the
I'll
way you're
help you.
thinking
Yeah,
already,
yeah,
Joe.
yeah.
This is good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe,
on
Joe,
10
when you
to
came up,
20%.
you can just bring a few buckets of ice as well, just for the pool.
That's right, because they've got to. Well, Kieran, can you fill everybody in on what's going to happen if they actually do?
If they do break,
If they do break or get past 250 yards?
Well,
they get a raise. They get 10% extra in their salary forever.
But if they don't, they have to
But if
jump
they
in the
don't, they've
cold
got to
pool.
jump in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's
Thus-
only on
thus
that
needing
particular
you to
day.
Bring the ice.
Right, so we've given them a month to prepare. So hopefully Ryan's been at the driving range smashing drives for the last month, and if he does it on this day we're playing, I think it's on the last Friday of the month.
It's funny. I heard that after the bet was made that both these guys contacted Joe wanting to hit 250 yards, but Joe can't even hit up 250 yards. So what's the story there?
Whoever hits a cart path
The
that goes
blind
250
leading
yards,
It's like
or a sprinkler
no,
head?
no, you can.
Tin cup.
It's it's like the Mr. Miyagi moment. The 1-inch punch. It's like the half swing. He's gonna just. It's like the 1-inch punch golf swing where you get 250 yards out of only from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock.
So is it any of the par 4s or par 5s on this golf course that you're going to allow the guys to hit their
do it
driver?
on a par
Yeah,
three
As
if they
long
want.
as they get it past 250 yards
And it's got to be on the dance, but it's got to be on the fairway.
on the fairway.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Which is fair enough, isn't it? Makes it
Yeah,
makes it
that's
spicy.
good. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see how you go with that 250 yards.
I'll jump in the river. I think it's a great opportunity. I think
pond.
it sets a nice precedent as well. So I think I'm seizing the opportunity.
Jump
for
into
sure.
one of those icy ponds.
Make sure you're driving up because I'm not driving you back after you jump in a touchy.
I'll bring my swim trunks. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Last thing about the new year predictions for the year, and I wrote a few things down. Rory, will he win a major?
Yes.
No.
I think it's. Sorry. I think yes.
You saying yes? You say no.
No.
What major would you?
I think it's the Masters.
Oh, you think
always,
it's the Masters?
I think it's always going to be difficult for him to win the Masters because I've said it in previous podcasts why I believe he's always going to have trouble because he's a drawer of the ball, and I think it's difficult over there if you're drawing the ball to hit your second shot off the
Did
the
come
ball
second
above your feet. Yeah,
3 years ago, 2 years
He
ago.
did. Well, he sort of backdoored his way into it, didn't he? He hold
He
a bunker
did,
shot on
yeah.
the last to finish second, but
Yeah.
I think the Masters this year. He had a great 2024.
He did.
Didn't get his over the line a couple of times, unluckily, but I think this is going to be a big year.
Okay.
What do you think,
We
Kieran?
will talk about Matsuyama. Well, I always think he will. I think he's going to get an Open because it's in Ireland this year.
Yeah, Portrush. It's at Royal Portrush, isn't it?
So yeah, so I reckon he might bag one or two at the Masters. I'm not sure. You know, it depends how his game is. You never know. I mean, it's a big year for him. It's they're going to be a Ryder Cup as well. So I think it could be an absolute bender of a year for him. It could be he could run amok everywhere. So let's see. He's definitely motivated for the Ryder Cup. And did you see that report? And ask you quickly what you thought of that. He locked himself practice for a month, so no tournament golf. He went into a room where he was hitting into a screen where he couldn't see his swing, so there was no TrackMan or Flight Scope or anything like that. He was just to work on his game. What do you think of that?
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, he said he just for a month he just went into a room and he was just hitting balls and just working on his swing dynamics.
Oh, I think it's a good thing. It's clearly motivated because a lot of the guys through Christmas and New Year sort of put their clubs down and don't do anything. And that's why Kapalua, which is the first event of the season, is usually a very hit and miss for some of the guys. The guys who've been practicing play really well. And of course, a lot of the guys who finish down the bottom of the field haven't practiced. So I guess that's unusual for Rory, but I think it's a good thing. So like I said, big 2025 for the boy.
Okay, good on him. Any predictions? What about Tiger Woods? Do we think he's gonna play? He's gonna play a few. He must be gonna do a few.
He always play the
stats.
majors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he make the cut last year in the Masters? He did, didn't he?
He might have. But
Yeah, he
then
made
finished.
the cut.
Did he finish?
I don't think he did.
I don't think he finished, did he?
He finished the Masters. I think he withdrew from everything else though. If I remember, any other start he did, he would. He wouldn't play well on the first day, and then he was just like, "What's the point?" He still thinks he can win, can Big Cat. So
I'm skeptical because he can't walk, especially around Augusta, which is very hilly. It's a really tough walk. So I would love him to be up there and contending again, but I think he's the same age as me. He's nearly 50. So
yeah. What do you reckon?
past
Do you reckon he can? I'm not going to say he's going to win a tournament, but do you think he could sneak a top 10 in a golf tournament this year?
Look, definitely.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Tiger get a top 10.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever going to do it at a British Open or the Open because it's too cold.
Yep. Masters too hilly.
Yeah, Masters too hilly. So maybe a PGA or maybe a US Open.
Like one of his events, the Hero or something like that.
Yeah.
He goes
look,
on,
it's definitely
he sneaks
possible.
in a top 10, something like that somewhere.
You can't ever keep him down. I mean, he's done some amazing things. I mean, the Masters win in 2019 was unbelievable.
Was, yeah. I'll make a prediction on Tiger. I bet you him and Charlie win the PNC next year. No? He came second and Langer was cheating.
Everyone says
He's
that.
cheating
That's
because
not
he played off the
cheating.
forward tees or he was
It wasn't even the
anchoring.
forward tees. It was like the play 40s.
Come on, rules are rules. He played by the rules. Good on
I
him.
mean, yeah, true that. I mean, the thing is about him, he is old. He is
65, I think.
65,
Yeah.
but he smokes it. I mean,
Yeah, he does.
Drives 280
Yeah,
yards.
you can get it out there. I thought you were talking about his anchoring, which was...
Well,
They've been talking about his anchoring lately. There's lots of photos on the net.
you're not supposed to touch your chest, right?
Yeah, the left hand's not supposed to touch
he
his
was
chest.
anchoring that bad boy to
You
his
talking about
chest.
the putter, yeah?
Yeah, so he was
the
like,
putter.
you're not. You're supposed to hold it like a free,
Yeah.
like the way Adam Scott does.
Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
But he was like straight to the chest, and then
Yeah.
don't know, like Bernhard Langer.
So do I.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
He always thanks God. He's like, thanks.
Yeah, he's a bit of a
thanks be
god
to
bother, isn't he? Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
good on him. Okay. Any other predictions for the year? Any
Well,
live golf? Come on, there must be something about live.
Well, there is actually. There's rumours that Johnny Rams might be going back to the PGA.
smart.
Really?
We'll never let him back in.
Well, hang on. He only had a 1 year contract.
I don't know.
I think it was 3. There might be some sort of get out clause, but then he'd have to give a lot of the money back, I would imagine.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they're practically already playing together, aren't they? On the DP World Tour, and then there was that thing where Scotty Scheffler was playing Rory McIlroy.
I mean, it's just it's a rumor. How much truth there is to it, who knows? I mean, we heard previously to that who was going to go to live?
I don't think he cares about playing PGA Tour events.
Tony Finau or whatever.
He's in the majors. He's playing in the Ryder Cup. That's all he cares about.
Yeah, they're talking about Victor Hovland at the moment as well. Apparently, there's rumours that he's going to go to live.
Yep.
So we shall see. But I think that this will be the year where they'll merge. I think some of the players, they'll have some events where they can all play together. Yeah.
Well, isn't there? I suppose they're supposed to. When is the first live event? Do they have a roster of the new players and the groups and stuff?
February. It's all been released.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yep. They actually just released the remainder of the schedule today.
Okay.
I was reading about it this morning, but most of the last...
Anything about Japan?
No, nothing Japan. A lot of US events.
Okay.
So,
Well, that's a shame that they couldn't get it together for Japan.
Oh, I think it'll happen, won't it?
Is Greg Norman gone now, is he?
2026 rather, I think it's going to happen.
Greg Norman's still there, but I mean, Greg's been going for years. You know, they said he was going to be replaced at the end of last year. It was only a couple of weeks away, but I think he's still there. I mean, there's no news so far.
He won't like that, will he?
No, he won't.
He is the alpha. He is the quintessential alpha male, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is the head dingo.
The big ding-a-ling.
Yes.
Okay, moving on. No more predictions for the year.
Speaking of predictions, I kind of want to get Joe's input on Kanaya, because I know that Matsuyama made a name for himself because he won a major or something like that. It was like in 2018 or something like that, and that's really where it kicked off for him. You said you were saying that you were really hopeful for Kanaya now that he's in
he's
in
on the
pros.
PGA Tour.
Do you think he'll have a similar kind of rise?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he's a little bit unorthodox in the way he swings a golf club. A little bit unusual. Doesn't look as strong and capable, I think, as Hideki. But he's got the game, and he's a super player. He's a number one amateur in the world. He won the AAC a few years ago. He won the Tahoe Masters as an amateur. So I've watched him a fair bit, and he's a super player. I mean, he's had great success here in Japan, and now on the PGA Tour as a full-time player. So I would expect his trajectory to be similar to what Hideki's is. So I'm looking for really big things. The first year out on the PGA Tour is going to be a little bit difficult. There's a lot of learning to do, learning the golf courses and where to stay and what to eat and all that sort of thing. But I expect in the next couple of years for him to do really, really big things. So the equal, if not better, I'm going to make that prediction than Hideki Matsuyama.
Well, we'll talk about Hideki, I'm sure, when we get to the PGA Tour stuff. But I'll make a prediction about him. I reckon he gets another major this year. If he keeps playing the way he played on the weekend, my goodness.
If he keeps that putter in the bag.
Mate, he's just broke the best score in any PGA Tour event in history. Is that right?
Yeah. I don't know if it's history. I know it's a century.
It is 35. The previous one was 2022 at 34 under.
Yeah, Cam Smith.
Incredible. I remember, and on Saturday they said the 54-hole lead tournament record's been broken, and he was just absolutely.
But it was the course too simple.
Yeah. It played too easy this year.
It was like a drive.
There was no wind.
There was no wind.
There was no wind. But I'm saying that there was guys who were struggling to break par, and they were.
Yeah, but I mean, look at the field. I think there was like 20 people, 20 under or something.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, a lot of the guys are coming off.
I like it because it's fun though, because it's like they bomb it down, they get a mad roll, they have the drone following the ball. But I mean, the real good thing was it's so I much prefer them getting eagles and birdies all the time than struggling with 2 foot of rough. You know what I mean? So it was nice to see Morikawa and Hideki Matsuyama on the Saturday just going backwards and forwards with birdies. It was fantastic.
It was pretty impressive for sure.
I like that.
Yeah, it was good.
Well, we'll go to that in a minute. But other news: the GT 280 Mini driver, is that right?
Yeah, it's been seen out on tour.
Yeah,
it's seen out on tour.
Yeah,
we're actually going to the their new metal woods, or their new hybrids are coming out.
Utility metal, yeah.
Utility metal is coming out. When is it? Next week?
This Friday.
Yeah.
Well, this Friday we have an event that you guys bring your drivers, your gloves, and your shoes. They said so. After all, so there will be a bit of an experience, I guess. Right,
we're going to get fit for the. Well, I'm looking forward to that. But the Mini driver, I didn't notice anybody. They weren't zooming in on drivers. I couldn't spot it. But I heard that a couple of the guys, obviously not Max Homa now. He's gone to Cobra
and Lululemon.
I actually have a Lululemon golf shirt. It's actually quite nice.
I thought you might. You got the yoga pants.
I do.
The match.
Got the yoga pants and the Lululemon top. It's nice.
It's an interesting sponsorship, that one. We need to talk about that.
Okay. But yeah, it'd be nice to see I'm wanting to get the mini driver. Can I ask you, Joe? So, the mini driver, when are they hitting this thing? It's like they're too long off the tee, so you hit a mini driver. Is that, or is it off the deck instead of a 3-wood?
Look, it's really effectively. I think what it is a 2-wood.
It's a 2-wood,
so
right?
they can hit it off the ground. It seems to be pretty small. I think it's 200. Is it 280 cc? Which is probably just a little bit bigger than a 3-wood. So they can hit it off the tee. It probably promotes a little bit more confidence just because of the size of the head is slightly bigger than a 3-wood, and they can also hit it off the deck. To me, it's a little bit of a strange club. It's a little bit of not a non-club, but I don't think a lot of people will be using it. But it's interesting that they've done it. It's something that I didn't think Titleist would ever do. TaylorMade have had a couple of goes at it. Callaway have got a model out at the moment.
They all have, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. I can't wait to have a go at it. I mean, I probably hit my like fairway woods better than my driver. So if I can get something in between, I think that would be amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
You tee it up low and you just get that little fairway finder out there, a little cut.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what it looks like.
That could solve a lot of problems for me, mate.
Do you think it might be more consumer focused rather than it's not maybe more for the pros in a sense?
I reckon the pros have requested it because
I think so.
You've seen a couple of pros have good success with it, right? Because it's like sometimes they're too long with the driver, so they want something that they can go full tilt, have confidence in, but not go quite as far.
Yeah.
Right. So but I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a trend, and typically Titleists don't follow trends. So it's a little bit out of left field, but I can't wait to see it. I will probably put one in the bag because I'd like to hit it off the tee. I hit driver a lot, and then the next club I hit off the tee is a 3-iron. I don't hit a lot of fairway woods. I'm just not.
You don't do driver off the deck.
I could do it if the lie's right, but it's hard. The ball's got to be sitting up, and lots of things in your favour. But yeah, I'm interested. I don't know. Do you know what the length is? If it's up near a driver, I mean 45 inches or a little bit shorter. We'll have to check that out and
I'm
report.
Presuming you could it's a driver. You could put whatever shaft you want on it as long as it's conforming.
Yeah.
You got to think about these things for your tour debut this year.
Yeah.
Why not?
Not saying anything.
Silence.
Okay. Well, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, are we talking about a prefecture, or do we have anything from the listeners, lads? Looking at the two boys. No,
we don't have a prefixture, and anything from the listeners. I mean, not as such, but it's been such a busy period over like the Christmas, New Year's break. So many people coming to Japan, play golf. Winter golf is just absolutely amazing. It's been great. So many people going out to Fuji, sending us photos, sending us thanks and appreciation for sorting them out. I just think people are coming out and just having an amazing time. So
that's good.
Keep it on coming.
That said, it's a little bit maybe in the past now too, but I think a lot of people kind of underestimated the width and breadth of the New Year's in Japan. So there was a lot of people requesting to have go to a golf shop, get fitting or something like that. And they were all closed, especially January 1st or January 2nd or something like that. So I think there was maybe a little bit of disappointment with that, just that, they're here for the holidays and everything shuts down. So
golf courses were all pretty much open though.
That's good.
Yeah. They do, yeah. Do you see a trend of more stuff in Okinawa, down south?
Okinawa is unbelievable.
It's gone gangbusters, isn't it?
It is. There's days
crazy.
Just zero. Can't book anything.
Wow.
And prices are through the roof. 60, 70,000 yen a tee time.
I remember even 10 years ago being down there and just driving to a local golf course, nice and easy breezy, and they put me out as a single. Those days are over.
No,
what do you think the lure is? Why do you think golfers are going down to?
Well, the weather for sure.
It's the weather, but I think also there's just the word has got out, especially like the Taiwanese guys and I guess the China. There's direct flights from Shanghai, from Taiwan, and I think there's a lot of those guys going on.
For sure.
Closer.
I mean, Japan is obviously the destination of choice at the moment for so many other countries, and so they're coming to Japan, but maybe they don't want the cold weather, so go down south and enjoy the lovely warm mid-2020s.
Yeah. So
what is it right now?
Something like that, right, Ryan?
Yeah. I mean, it was it felt like fall. So I mean, it was
nice.
and I mean, it was nice. Like a bit windy, actually. Like a bit of wind, a bit of rain. So unlike Tokyo, where it's just like clear. Like I mean, we've had rain recently, but it's usually the summer is really clear. There, it was definitely a bit more kind of mixed, but not cold. That's for sure.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I heard that Costco opened down there, and
In Okinawa.
and you know, with the LCC low cost carriers coming over from Taiwan and Shanghai, and the yen being like unbelievably weak, there's people flying over just for Costco.
No,
Because
Really?
they don't have it over there. Yeah, so
Wow,
there's people
wow.
coming up for Costco buying so that Costco's looks like it's all the shelves
buying a
are
sofa and taking
like
it.
panic buying. Actually, I noticed that. You remember, Ryan? We went over to we were checking out a golf shop, the Humma store, and Humma have like a premium full set of clubs now in Costco.
The bet is? Oh,
The Beres, yeah, and it's like 100,000 yen, or it's $1,000 for a full set.
Mm.
But they also have a Callaway set, which is like nothing. It's
That's right, yeah.
40,000 yen or
Yeah.
something.
Then they've
Incredible.
also got
Selling
their
it in Costco.
Kirkland.
Yeah, full set,
Wow.
and it's like a premium.
They're still
primo.
doing their local
Kirkland.
Yeah, Kirkland is there, is there,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Isn't Titleist suing them?
Are they?
What? Moving on.
There's a lot of stuff on YouTube actually, like rating and reviewing the clubs and the Kirkland clubs, the balls and
Didn't
stuff.
Rick Shields do one, and then
Yeah.
like he went around and he shot the same score that he would shoot with his own fitted clubs.
Yeah.
Just goes to show, you know, if you just, and he's just like, yeah, straight out of the bag and just go. So if you're coming over to Japan, why don't you just pop over to
But is that a
Costco, grab
reflection
it?
on him or the clubs though?
Yeah, well, he's a good golfer, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
That's
good
true.
player.
I don't think he'd be the same as
Actually, I think it was
Taylor.
TaylorMade TaylorMade is suing them. I think their irons were the same as the P770s or the 790s.
Yeah, I think it's
or
also, it could be
something like that.
Titleist
Or
as
is it
well.
the ball?
Yeah, because
Maybe
they
it's the
brought out
ball.
balls that
Excuse me?
they were claiming to be identical to the Pro Vs.
Okay.
Who knows?
At a third of the price.
I know you can get the Volvic balls there pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Are they any good? The
Volvic's still a
Volvic?
thing, are they?
They're like bright luminous. I wouldn't.
Yeah, they had
Not my-
they
not my
sponsored
bag,
Bubba
baby.
Watson for a couple of years.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
pink
yeah.
ones. Yeah.
The long drive. The
The long drive
thing,
guys
yeah.
and girls were using
It does
them
my
too.
eyes in. I can't. trip
Yeah,
the
very
ball.
bright.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
not for me.
I love those balls. I love like a bright yellow ball or something like that. I want them,
Oh, Ryan, we
I-
need to talk.
Yeah, I want them to like LEDs in there or something like that. That sounds like fun. But
Actually, the night golf with the glow in the dark balls, I'd like to try that. I know they have that down in Phoenix Country Club. Shout out to Phoenix.
Yep,
We need to go down there.
we do.
Actually, speaking of Phoenix, well, the past owners. So the big news was in December that PGM bought Accordia Golf. Thoughts on that? So now PGM
Huge.
is a behemoth of how many golf courses would they have now, Damon?
Maybe a couple.
300 plus.
300 plus golf courses. I mean, that's something. That's a bit of a monopoly, I would say.
And
By
PGM
far
have
the
a-
largest.
Yeah, they have a couple of different levels, don't they? Like there's
Yeah.
PGM and then there's a
PGM
Grand.
PGM Grand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is what? The golf courses are better, or it's a better service, or
It's more of
the
a
difference?
membership style golf course.
Yeah, and the maintenance is a little bit better.
So weekends are for members only.
Yep.
Okay.
That's number like similar
Yeah.
to some of the Tahir ones.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
weekdays it becomes a bit of a mixture member public.
right?
But courses are certainly a higher grade.
Yeah.
seems like the two companies have like totally inverse approaches towards inbound tourism golf as well, right? Because Accordia was kind of welcoming it, and it seems like PGM was kind of like wait and see. So, does that sound right? Or?
They've obviously got a big plan. You don't just spend, what was it,
$3.5 billion.
Yeah. So it's 5.1.
So for 148 golf courses, $3.5 billion. That's a lot of bread.
Yeah.
$3.5
It's a lot of
billion
Dollars.
dollars.
squillion. That's right. I mean, a lot of land though. There's a lot of land value there as well.
Yeah.
Who owns it?
PGM,
Who is
is
PGM?
owned by
PGM.
a Pachinko company.
Pachinko. Okay.
It's a Korean
Yep.
related company,
Right.
right? I thought they were a private equity, or maybe that was just Accordia.
No, they were.
They were.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, I see. Wow, that's a lot of golf courses. Yeah, we'll watch this space. We'll keep an eye on
Yeah,
that.
that's interesting.
It hasn't affected anything for us when any golfer wants to go to Accordia or PGM courses. We sort it out for them. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I think in the short term anyway, I don't think anyone will see any big change because
Yeah.
it's such two big brands. It'd be very hard to make it into one in a short time.
Okay, cool. All right, let's talk about Hideki Matsuyama in more detail. Joe, come on,
Wow,
give it to me.
PGA Tour. So it's the kickoff event for the year at the Plantation Golf Course. It's the Plantation Golf Course at Kapalua. Do you know, actually, guys, do you know who the owner is?
Kapalua.
No, Yanai-san. Yanai-san
Is
is
it?
the owner of Uniqlo. Yeah, he's owned it for
wow.
quite a while. He's owned a few golf courses. He sold a few away, I think, in 2010. But for the listeners, his son is the owner of Uniqlo. I think he's the wealthiest. Is he the wealthiest man in Japan?
I would say so.
I think.
Him and Maizawa-san, yeah.
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 What about the owner of SoftBank though? That guy-
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Did too,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not short of a few bob.
Anyway, so it was the Hideki Matsuyama show. He shot 65, 65, 62, 65 to finish at 35 under par.
That's unbelievable.
He had 33 birdies and 2 eagles, offset by 2 bogeys, which is unbelievable. There it is.
Hideki! Sorry.
Mats.
Maybe that might be a little bit loud.
That's a little bit loud.
Okay.
So as Damon said before, he beat Cam Smith's record for 2022 at Kapalua by a shot, which was phenomenal scoring. I thought that would never be beaten, but Hideki seemed to do it pretty easily. He spent most of the tournament with his hands off the club. Did you notice that?
I know.
guys?
Every time he hits a ball, he's like hands off the club. He's like, he's not happy with it, but it's perfect.
Yeah, which is I think is becoming a little bit embarrassing, especially when you take your hands off the club and he hits it to, as he did a few times, to 3 or 4 feet and taps it in for birdie. If he hits one into the the rubbish or misses a green, I don't see anything wrong.
Yeah,
with
he
that,
did.
But
I mean, he did miss a drive or two,
he did.
and especially on the Saturday. I noticed, especially towards the end of the round, they were leaking right on him.
Yeah, he hit a couple of loose, got
Yeah.
lucky a couple of times.
So Joe, why is he doing it?
He doesn't do it for himself. He does it for everybody else. It's like a sign to see that he's unhappy, but it's not.
He's unhappy. Why?
Well, it's usually the strike. I don't think he's hitting it off the center of the club face, or it's the shape, not the shape he wants.
So it's almost presentational in a sense. So it's like to communicate how he's feeling.
Absolutely, it's that. It's
Well,
not
it's a
something
game
that
of-
he do- It's not that he's so disappointed. I mean, he's obviously disappointed, but it's to show other people he's disappointed.
But would you not think? I mean, it's a game of precision. His game is precision, right? And
is.
as you said, like he's trying to land it at a certain spot on a certain part of the green, whatever it is. And if it's even a little bit off, he's just not happy with it.
But as Joe said, it was like 3 feet from the hole. How could you not
Yeah.
be happy with that?
Yeah, it looks a little bit silly sometimes when he hits really good shots, but
When you said that he takes his hand off the club, like I know it's like sometimes he would drive or whatever like that. It almost looked like he was one-handed.
yeah,
Is that
exactly.
what you're referring
That's
to?
what I'm referring
Yeah,
to.
okay.
Yeah, he lets go of it a little bit. I mean, you see a lot of the good players do it occasionally, but Hideki does it more than anybody. But the thing about Hideki is he also hits it close to the flag sometimes. So it to me it looks a little bit strange. But I mean, what a week he had. I mean, what a player. As I've always said, I mean, he's probably
Unbelievable.
the premium ball striker on the tour. He's just never been the best putter in the world. And he used a new Scotty Cameron. This week was interesting because he's always been a little bit reluctant to change his putters, and he used that centre shaft Scotty Cameron, which I've never seen him use before. And he putted well, and when he putts well, he wins. And this is certainly the case this week. I don't think he putted well. I think he made
had
an
2
eagle on
hole
the
outs.
last,
Yeah, 2
on
hole
the
outs,
last
yeah.
round on the 7th hole. But as well as we were talking about earlier, the golf course is these days without wind. There was a little bit of wind on the last day. It's defenceless. It was a soft golf course. There was a lot of rain leading into the tournament, so I played quite soft. The guys hit the ball a long way, so the par 5s are all reachable in 2. The par 4s, some of them are drivable. And these guys with soft greens just hitting their wedges to a couple of feet all the time. I mean, there was times throughout the tournament when they were showing the putting green and Hideki was hitting in. He hits it the further, so there's a couple of guys who have hit before him and there's balls surrounding the hole. You know, there's a few times where Hideki's hitting a wedge to a foot and there was another shot to 3 feet and another one to 5 feet. So they were just knocking the pins out. And I think the last place, there was one guy who didn't finish, but I think last place finished at 4 under. And as I said, these guys, a lot of them have had sort of a month off, so they're coming in not having practiced much. And yeah, the golf course, I played out there a couple of years ago, and the golf course is, I won't say easy, but it's very, very wide off the tee. And if you get the right winds and the right conditions, the ball rolls and funnels into areas where you can have some really, really short shots. Into
I
the
love
greens.
it.
And that's me. Look, Kieran, I'm
entertaining.
with you.
Part
It
of
is
the game.
entertaining.
I mean, it's there's not too many tournaments set up like that. So
No, there's not.
just let Kapalua be that, and you want a nice, you come off your Christmas, maybe like you, Joe, you've had a few too many drinks, and you want to go back in. Great quote from Shane Lowry. Did you see that on social?
I did. Why am I going to spend
24
24 hours in a plane?
Coming off Christmas in Ireland,
off Christmas.
25 hours on a plane, and then
you have
having to shoot 30 under.
Yeah. He's right, though. I mean,
Class.
why would you bother? The other thing, I don't know if you guys noticed, that Scotty Scheffler didn't play. Did you hear about what happened to Scotty?
Yeah, cut
Got
the
arrested
fingers off
again, or-
himself.
Well, the story is, I mean, what he said to the press is he's hurt himself during Christmas. He's cut his hand.
Was that on it? He cut his
somehow.
hand with a... Oh, I thought he would... it was broken glass. He was
I think
picking
it was
up
broken. Sorry, it was broken glass.
And,
so
he sliced his finger open.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not
So he's
good.
going to be out for a few weeks.
yeah.
So it must have been pretty serious.
So whether or not you believe that type of thing, who knows? Damon, you could be right. He could have got arrested again, but it was sad not seeing him there. But look, at the end of the day,
Probably
I think
a bar fight.
Maybe he decided to
Broken glass,
let someone else get a head start on the FedEx Cup to make it more challenging for him.
Yeah. And I think the best player won. So it's Hideki's 11th win on the PGA Tour, plus
Fair play to him.
Yeah.
plus the Masters. So he played just some stunning golf.
Hideki's
Really did.
a savage, and he's actually playing again in Hawaii this week, and he's a past champion there. Remember, he hit that.
the Sony.
He hit that. Was it a 3-wood or a 5-wood on the last
That's right, he did
hole
too,
to get an eagle?
He did.
in a playoff.
Good memory,
So he
Kieran.
he could
did
win
too.
again.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
week.
2 in a row.
Keep it. Get it. He's a bit of a streaky player.
He is, yeah. And if he putts well again, so good on Scotty Cameron for getting him over the line.
There's no official prefecture of the week this week, but I guess if there was one, that the honorary would be Ehime, which is where Hideki's Matsuyama's
right.
from, right? And like his hometown is also named Matsuyama. I was talking with somebody who was from there, and they were like, "Oh, he's all the rage. Like we love him. He's our
He's all the
pride and
rage in
joy."
Japan.
Yeah, well, yeah. But imagine like his hometown and his home prefecture, like they just love him over there. So shout out to Ehime.
He was
Yeah.
he needs to work on his hug game. He was just seem like afterwards he just wins and he's just nonchalant, picks up the ball, he just gives a little fist pump and that's it. And then you see him trying to hug the caddy and it's like the most awkward
It
thing.
never
Yeah.
works for them, does it? They're just not good at it.
The Japanese guys,
Not part of the culture.
they're just not used to that kind of physical.
No, they're not.
Perfection.
High fives are
No.
rubbish. Their hugs are just stop it.
Yeah,
Yeah, he should just do a fist bump. Boom.
yeah.
Leave it
There's
at
a
that.
great story
Maybe a
about
bow.
There's a
Oh,
great
bow
story
would be
about
nice.
Hideki years ago. Brian, where did you say he was from?
Ehime prefecture.
And that was affected by the earthquake.
Oh, wasn't it? Yeah.
Right.
Like the more recently though, right? Like correct me. Like actually, Kieran's better with geography than I am, but
It's the wrong part of Japan, lads.
boy, you're kind of calling me out on that. I don't think that would have been involved in the 2011 though. I think it's that more recently. I think that they've had some problems.
Right, but there was something about
Well, it's down
2011.
it's down
Maybe
in the
it
far
was-
south, right? What you're confusing it with is he went to the
Maybe it was
University of Fukushima.
Sorry, that's where
that'll
that's
do
where
it.
you're thinking of. But
So
no,
he won the AEC in 2010, which got him a start in the Masters in 2011. And after the earthquake happened, he was very reluctant to go to the Masters because of what was happening in Japan. And the university were very forthright and said, "Look, you have to do this." And he said, "No, I want to stay because of what's happening here. I want to stay and help." And they finally pushed him, and he went over there and played really, really well. I have a feeling he might have made the cut that year as an amateur, and then of course years later became the Masters champion. But that's a really cool story that he was willing to give up his spot in the Masters as an amateur to stay home and help the disaster that was going on here. So
yeah,
he's a bit of a tough character, but he's obviously got a good heart.
yeah. I heard
Hideki.
Ehime is not a big golf part of Japan. It's on Shikoku, right? So Shikoku it doesn't really have many golf courses, right? So it's great that he's from that kind of like. I mean, you're probably talking 6 golf courses or something very compared to the other prefectures.
Yeah, he doesn't come from money or anything like that. I think his dad's a taxi driver and his mum is, I'm not quite sure, but yeah, didn't come from great wealth or anything like that, like a lot of the players do.
People say he revitalized a lot of interest in the sport in the country as well, and probably for all
especially
those
after the
reasons.
Masters.
Well, they love their sport in Japan, and they do have a lot of success. And you just have to look at the Olympics. But golf has always been, there's only been Aoki who's won in the PGA Tour back in the 70s or something. Jumbo never had much success.
No, he didn't.
On the world
Not
stage
outside of Japan.
and he's the first first Asian golfer really who's really been legitimately. I mean, he's top 5 golfer in the world now.
Just broke a
Yeah.
record, so.
Just broke the record. I mean, he's won the Masters. There's not too much left for him to prove, to be honest with you. I mean,
No, there's
he'd
not.
probably be after a gold medal for Japan. And
Yeah, he won the bronze, I think, didn't he? He won the I think he
did,
won the
yeah.
bronze last year. He's a terrific golfer.
Played well,
I would
actually.
just like him to come back to Japan to play a little bit more, and maybe in the twilight of his career he might do that a little bit more. But I think Japanese golf is really suffering without him coming over here and playing. Not suffering, but I would like to see him come back and play more.
well, he's inspiring the next generation. You got these guys now winning out in Europe.
Yeah,
Maybe they don't quite have the chops he has. I think he's got that. He's the other. He has that. He's very focused. He's not like super talkative. He just says the same thing over and over. He's a bit of a machine. He practices. He's the last guy off the range. He's just got that. Tiger was like that as well. Tiger wasn't, I very talkative in the interviews. He'd say the same thing over and over again. Just let his golf do the talking.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I said to Damon, I was like, oh, so he just had a record. Like maybe he's feeling a bit of pressure because Kanaya's coming after him, joining new and everything like that. And Damon's like, I'm sure he doesn't give a shit.
No, probably doesn't.
He's a tough cookie. So
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'd probably prefer if there was more Japanese guys on the tour. He obviously likes, although he never really bought into the whole rivalry when he first came out with Ryo Ishikawa. Ryo Ishikawa, when he came out on tour, Ryo Ishikawa was a little bit older, I guess, and was more
they're about
established.
the same age.
They're about the same age.
Yeah, I think Hideki is 32, so still pretty young.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rio had great success very, very early.
He did, shot that 57 or whatever.
Yeah, which was a
Then
bit silly. But good on you, Hideki. I mean, what an amazing start.
Yeah,
to the year.
congratulations for sure.
Good for Japanese golf.
I
think that was pretty much. There wasn't a whole lot of golf, other than the amazing match that Damon and I had at Tama Hills.
Oh, how was
Is it
that?
country club or golf club?
It's a golf club.
Golf club. Yeah. Just before Christmas, he took me over there and we went for a hit, which was an amazing opportunity. I've never had the chance to go over there and play, and it's only took me an hour to get there, and that's from Yokohama. And I took a few wrong turns, and it took me an hour to get there, which is really nice considering it usually takes you 2 hours to get anywhere here.
Man, from downtown Tokyo, it's like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
It takes me 40 minutes. It was great.
Yeah.
really, really nice golf
Did you
course.
see Fuji?
Yeah, we did actually. I mean, there was a little bit of a cloud over the top, but it was clear. I mean, what great views, Damon, isn't it?
It is.
It's just
I
extraordinary.
mean, other than that last hole with the fence on the left,
yeah,
Yep. It's a bit of a
all
weird
those
one.
holes are really nice.
They
I,
are
I
nice.
really like that golf
I was
course.
really impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
they've
that-
done a renovation recently with, I think they've relayed the greens.
That's right.
Patrick, who's the head GM or the head golf professional out there, has told me a little while ago that they'd redone the greens, and the greens are in fantastic condition. A couple of them were frozen, but you expect that at this time of the year.
Yeah.
They're a great surface, and fairways were good. And considering this time of the year, the grass is dormant, doesn't grow. Really, really nice coverage on both greens and fairways. So good on you, Patrick, doing a
So
great job out there.
what did you play? Skins? Match play? What are we talking about here?
Oh, we just went for a hit.
Okay.
Yeah, it was nice just to experience it, and it was just the two of us went out there and played.
Very
Me,
nice.
me playing match play against Joe.
But it's
Well,
nice
in
because
his
we played
handicap situation, right?
straight through and sat in the clubhouse afterwards and had an enormous hamburger and chips. And
I was going to ask
Coke.
if there was any culture shock.
I loved it. One thing I really
Yeah,
appreciate.
the guys with the M16s at the gate would,
Yeah.
would give you a shot.
Yeah. Is I walked into the pro shop and for the first time in a long time, the lady behind the counter said, "Good morning, Joe." She had my name. Obviously, Damon had booked it in, and it's nice.
Oh, I
to be,
just
when
think
you
you're
walk in
famous.
No, but it's nice to be greeted like that. I mean, that happens in America a lot. They're very, very good at that sort of thing. So it's very American style, but it's a nice start to the day when they sort of recognise who you are. Not who I am, but actually took the time to remember my name.
Yeah. Oh,
But,
cool.
but no, I loved it. But you can't go out there, unfortunately, just for a hit, though, can you?
No, I need to go with a member.
You need to go with a member.
Yeah. Need to be part of the Five Eyes as well.
But if
which
anyone
you guys-
fancies it, Damon will take you out.
That's right.
Yeah.
No
Sorry,
problem.
Brian, the five eyes.
the Five Eyes, which is the basically trusted nations by the United Nations,
yes.
by the United States. So
Yes.
which Australia is one of them,
Correct.
right? And
We're-
I think
we're
Japan
allowed
as
in.
well. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's certain countries that they won't let in. But
Well, they wouldn't let. I remember because I tried to play it on a US base. I think it was Camp Fuji. No, it was Camp Zama,
summer.
and they wouldn't let me on because I was Irish back in the day. And then something happened a year or two later that we were allowed on.
Yeah.
So I guess you have your list.
Politics.
Yeah. if I was from Greenland or Canada now, I'll be next when Trump comes to power.
Yeah, right. You'd be let in for you don't even need to show your passport.
I mean, there's definitely passports that won't get in at Tama as well. And that actually
Yeah.
happened on the weekend.
Oh,
with
really?
A friend of ours, yeah.
Oh, okay. Can we say who?
Probably not.
Okay.
I'm trying to think who has the dodgiest passport.
No, it was one of our friends' friend,
Okay. Then you
Yeah.
could say what was the nationality? Give us that.
Taiwanese.
Oh, really?
So he actually
Okay.
had a US passport
that's
as
surprising,
well. But in the US passport didn't have the visitor entry stamp, so had to give his other passport,
see.
and they won't allow Taiwanese
Wow.
Chinese passports in.
Okay, I guess it is an active base, right? So is there any kind of
I mean, there's
chance of espionage? Yeah. Okay. Well, so
How
what did
they
he do?
water
Did he
the
just go
greens.
around to Costco because it's around the corner?
No, they actually went to a different course.
There you go. Problem solved.
That's a really nice experience, though, isn't it?
It is. It's a great
yeah,
course.
Yeah,
Really
nice
like it
practice
there.
facility and playthrough style, which is nice. And we'd fit. What time did we tee off? 8 o'clock. We'd be finished by lunchtime.
That's
Great.
right.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's very nice. I heard it's going to snow this weekend.
Really?
In Tokyo.
Oh,
Yeah,
is it?
Sunday. Yep.
it was good to have it once a year.
On Sunday, yeah.
So I think
Sunday
Monday's
looks really
okay.
nice.
Monday's a bank holiday. Monday's okay. I think it's coming in. It's just blowing it. It's for anybody who's a skier. It's amazing skiing right now up in Niigata, Nagano, and then of course Hokkaido and all those kind of places.
Yeah, just looking at it now, it could be
Snow in Tokyo on
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yep, Sunday looks mint.
Okay.
I got a bit of I got a few rounds in over the holidays as well.
A few
Oh,
rounds in. Shut
yeah.
them up,
Talk to
Dave.
us, Ryan.
Oh yeah.
What are you talking about?
This is my first time to of my own accord to go to a golf course and stuff like that, and it was a perfect place to start. It's just a short course on Okinawa, which it was really nice, beautiful weather, everything like that. Couldn't see the ocean. I was kind of bummed about this. It's just it's on an island called Ishigaki-jima, and there's no golf course there. There's only this short course, and it's part of the ANA Intercontinental Hotel that they have there. And but it was really nice, really friendly. Everything was really good. There was 4 guys ahead of me who were having just like a great time, just laughing it up, and they were really good players too. So they kept it going really smoothly, and I was just sort of following along, zigzagging, as you do. But I got to play with Honma clubs, which was kind of fun too. I kind of was curious to.
Any revelations? Did you suss out the driver?
So unfortunately, it's such a short course that like a lot of the holes, it's like I was actually checking with ChatGPT. Okay, this is the distance. This is what it is. What should I use here, just to get some some feedback? And it was like, oh, for this thing, you should use your pitching wedge, or you should like tee off with your sand wedge.
Oh, it's a really short, all par
quite
threes,
short
I
course.
guess.
Yeah, exactly. And so
Okay.
So you could have used
Pitch
your
and putt.
driver then.
there was no driver. Yeah, basically. Yeah, there was no driver in the bag. Even they didn't even give me one.
Oh, okay.
So
It's a pitch and putt. Yeah.
I didn't get to play with that, but
That's good though. It's a bit of fun.
yeah.
Are you
It was fun.
hooked?
What's that?
Are you hooked?
Oh yeah, it's like that's the thing is I'm hoping that TGL is something that I can really enjoy watching because to some degree the perspective watching the sport, it's like I need to build more appreciation for what they're doing, whereas I'm thinking TGL, it's so flashy, it's so fun. I think it's really going to bring people into the sport perhaps a bit more too, just because of the tech and sort of that immersive element of it. But I mean, it's just such a fun golf. It's just such a fun sport to play. I mean, it's like the participatory element of the sport is the best part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a few snake bite power kaku highball?
No, I haven't sampled it.
lying.
You guys will be the guinea pigs for that.
I thought we were going to break them out on the podcast. Forgot about that.
You want to have a sip? We can close it out.
I can't. I'm off the sauce.
Oh, come on, Joe. You got to do it, mate.
But I promised myself.
Really? So how bad were you? Because I've seen you
Oh,
bad.
look, no, it was too often leading up to sort of Christmas.
That's the
and
thing.
through
Yeah. I mean, I was in
Christmas.
Ireland and I was in Boston and it was. I wasn't drinking that much because I was driving a lot. But I suppose in Boston, I wasn't really drinking. But in Ireland, there was one day I went out with a few mates and had.
Thank you, Ryan.
God, what is this thing? Look at this thing. Habu ball. Oh, it's the Habu, and it's a picture of the snake on it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
There is
Look at that
too.
thing.
Like Cobra. Oh, we've got to talk about Cobra too, don't we?
If you read the ingredients to it, it just says it has the snake essence.
There it is.
So
There's the snake.
oh, good sound.
Good sound.
I'll drink it on the first day of
6% alcohol. What does recule mean?
Liqueur.
Oh, liqueur.
Yeah.
Liqueur. Okay, nice.
There you go.
So a bit dodgy, I'm sure.
That's right.
Energy.
And the verdict?
Tastes like something that your kids would drink. It's like
Well, that's good.
a.
That's good,
It's
isn't it?
6%. So
You know what they call cider in Japan?
Yeah,
It's not like cider like apple cider. It's just like a fizzy kind of drink. Like if you know those candy heart sweets.
Oh yeah.
Do you have them like
On
hearts?
Valentine's Day and stuff thing.
No, well they're like it's like a little tube of sweets, and then it will say like little messages like "kiss me"
Yeah.
or "give me a slap."
Oh, yeah.
But it tastes like that.
Oh whoa.
But in a kind of a sparkling in a seltzer.
Oh, he's going back for more, so he does like it.
I have to for the listeners and
Yeah.
for the
for the content, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now you'll be immune to any snake bites as well. But next time I'll bring back the bottle with the mummified snake. Then that might be the way to go.
I can't taste any whiskey. Is it whiskey?
It says
it's a highball.
It's an energy
Must
drink.
be, yeah.
It's an energy highball, so it has to be whiskey. It's good.
Cool.
Okay.
Nice.
We'll drink the rest of it now, and it's 11 a.m., so can't be drinking too much.
Replace your coffee.
Stick on the TGL, and we'll have some kaku highballs. Is that what it's called? A kaku highball?
Yep.
Okay. Habu highball. Sorry.
Habu
ball. Habu ball.
Have a ball. Have a ball.
Have a ball.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, cool.
Right.
Well, I think that's it for we'll keep everyone up to date about our little internal game here that we're going to try and do, and we're going to try and stick to our New Year's resolutions. No drinking for Joe.
Yeah.
And get yourself signed up for that Q school, mate. Let's do it. We're serious about it. Lots of new stuff happening this year. I think we're going to put out our Golf in Japan gear, which you can see on his head right now. And a couple of other things. So, hopefully this year is a bit of a breakout year for us. But of course, all through it, we'll be booking tea times and helping people discover golf in Japan. So for this year, lads, yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
Onegaishimasu.
Yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
Thanks a million, guys.
All right.
Guys.
See you next time.